Recording in progress. Welcome, everyone. This is Jonty. Today is December 8th. We're in our maybe 15th class or so in our continued odyssey to explore and master the most beautiful language in the planet, second only to the one that you think is the most beautiful language on the planet, of course, not to offend anyone. So we're going to continue down the track that we were in the last class. We're going to keep going down this rabbit's hole. George, were you able to watch our video from last class?
Yeah, I think I'm okay. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So first, let's do a quick review. All right. So each of you chose a character. Nur, wawakhat.
Sasa Aslanch.
Wawa Aslanch. Ahmad, wawakhat.
Sasa Yinij.
Wawa Yinij. Inal, wada di ghusatqam. Arashi, zagwarkhir makharar kharagtum shish zagwarqakhakh.
I have to pick from this list. Raketas.
Raketas, Khunsh. George, pick a character from this list. Who do you want to be?
Sasa Terminators.
Whoa, Terminators. Of course, if you choose Terminator, you're going to get bonus points if you can speak Circassian with an Austrian accent.
Oh, damn.
Okay. Terminators. Okay. Your Terminator. Omar, wawakhat.
Sasish Anagal.
Wawash anagal. Yajri shawaga di asma biza. We have a small spelling error here. Fixing that. Okay. Maya. Zagwarqakhakh. Choose a character.
Sasa Melwa.
Melwa. Okay, you're a magician. Brandon, wawakhat.
Sasa Kafakwa.
Wawakafakwas. Nta. Zanshawa, wawakhat.
Sasi Shumashqualanch. I
Shumashqualanch.
dressed the part apparently today.
Shumashqualanch. Sara, wawakhat.
Sasa Magwa.
Wawamagos. Wariwamagos. Okay, so we all remember our characters. And Sasichet.
Wawarobach.
Sasa Robach. Arpej. Sasa Robach. Sasa Sala Robat. Hamachajabs Robat.
Wawarobach.
Sala Robat. Arqam. Khons. Sasa American Robat. Hamara Adiga Robat.
Adiga Robach.
Adiga Robat. Sitsar Sit.
Witsarjanti.
Aha, okay, good review. Atsutokwa, tados az, we remember, shaler mapsasha, shaler adigabzich mapsasha, shaler adigabzich apsafra. Do we all remember this progression? Okay, so, did I hear a no? Okay, so let's play with this a little bit. We're going to do a little bit of a round robin here. Nur.
Sidjanti.
Sitqua da bzacha wupsafra.
Sa Adigabzicha Sopsachef.
Wupsafaf.
Sopsachef.
What Turkibzicha wupsafra?
How Turkibzicha Sipsachaferkom.
Sa Turkibzicha sipsafra.
Arkom.
Sapsafrakum. Hawa.
What Turkibzicha Wupsachaferkom.
Hawa. Sapchat Pej was Zarjubar. Sa Turkibzicha sipsafrakum. Khunsh. Ahmad.
Sijanti.
Alam sitqua da bzacha psafra.
Sladar Adijabzika Mapsasaf.
Adigabzicha psafaf. Mapsafaf. Nta. What sitqua da bzacha wupsafra?
Sa Adijabzika Sopsasaf. Injizabzika Sopsasaf. Harpibzika Ray Sopsasaf.
Bza aji wupsafaf.
Da.
Inal. What Turkibzicha wupsafra?
How was Turkibzicha Sipsafakum?
Сыт хуэдэ бзэкӏэ упсэлъэфрэ?
Сэ урысыбзэкӏэрэ инджыбзэкӏэрэ сыпсэлъэф.
Адыгэбзэкӏи?
Ток.
Ток. Тамам. Джордж,
Сыт жанти?
حرببزэкӏэ упсэлъэфрэ?
Сыт حرببزэкӏэ?
حرببزэкӏэ мыращ.
Arabic. حرببزэкӏэ сопсалъэф.
Упсэлъэф.
Сопсалъэф.
Сэ حرببزэкӏэ сыпсэлъэфрэ? Сэ. How? Сыпсэлъэфыркъым. Look, أنا بعرف شوية, but it's I don't think
because you told us you did at one point. Okay.
no, a lot of other ones, but not شوي.
Okay, مش مشكلة. Okay.
مش عالم ست خدا بزتش بسلفرة.
مش على ست.
مش عالر نار.
مش عالر.
مش عالر ست خدا بزتش بسلفرة. ست خدا بزتش بسلفرة.
أدغبزت مبسخف.
باج أدغبزت مبسخف باج. عمر.
ست.
بسلفرة.
وأدغبزت وبساخر.
باج سا أدغبزت سبسالة. سبسالة. وبسالة.
سا English مبساخر سبساخر.
أرباج وينجلبزتشا وبساخر وبسلفر يجبستو ست خدا بزتشا وبساخر.
يجبستو أدغبزتشا سبساخر.
مايا بسلفر أدغبزتشا.
Are you asking me or Maya now?
I'm asking you.
Okay. Maya يجبستو أدغبزتشا مبساخة.
مبسلف.
مبسخف.
مبسلف. خود حمرة تاكو. تاكو. مايا.
ست.
يجبستو خط بسالرة. Who's speaking right now? يجبستو خط بسالرة.
سا.
وست.
سا سبسالة.
ووبسالة سري سبسالرة.
انت.
سا ست خدا بزمش سبسالرة. ست خدا بزمش. سا حرب بزتش سبسالرة. سا ترك بزتش سبسالرة.
Oh, و أدغبزة, right?
أدغبزتش.
أدغبزة.
وبسالة.
بسالة.
باج. وبسو. براندن.
ست جانتي.
داوشت.
تمام. مبسوط. أو ست سنتي.
ساري ستمامش. ودنا وشقة.
in California
كاليفورنيا. يجبستو كاليفورنيا شقة حما خوابة.
يجبستو كاليفورنيا very شقاس.
كود شقاش.
كود شقاس.
كود شقاش. يجبستو خد بسالرة.
That to me,
يجبستو خد who? خد بسالرة. Right now, who's talking?
يجبستو سبسالة.
ووبسالة. أربج. سا سبسالرة.
انت وبسالة.
ست خدا بزتش سبسالرة.
Sorry, one more time.
ست خدا, what kind of, بزتش, language, سبسالرة.
Egyptu adigebzitcha
Адыгэбзэкӏэ сопсалъэ.
sopsafla.
Уэ адыгэбзэкӏэ упсэлъэфырэ?
One more time.
Уэ адыгэбзэкӏэ упсэлъэфырэ?
Nta. Wa adigebzitcha wopsafla. Wopsa.
Сэ адыгэбзэкӏэ сопсэлъэф.
Well, yeah. Sa adigebzitcha sopsafla.
Сосэпсэлъ.
So,
Сопсэлъэф.
that's right. Okay. Sa sopsafla.
Oh, you know what? It's because the translator sopsэлъэф. Sorry here.
Sopsaflas.
Sorry.
Sa adigebzitcha sopsaflas.
Sopsэлъэф. Хъунщ. Уопсэу. Заншауэ.
Sit Janti.
Дауэ ущыт?
Arzinesh, what I wish it.
Сэри сехъэрзынэщ. Уэ дэнэ ущыӏэ?
San Francisco, Sashash.
Нобэ Сан Франциско хуабэ. Хьэмэ щыӏэ?
Nova, San Francisco, Sha'ash.
Щыӏэщ.
Can you say Dida? Like Dida Sha'ash? Like for very cold?
Щыӏэдыдэщ. Щыӏэдыдэщ.
Sha'adida.
Щыӏэдыдэщ. Иджыпсту хэт псалъэрэ?
Egypt's two Sa Adigebsicha Sobsafla.
Пэж иджыпсту уэ адыгэбзэкӏэ уопсалъэ? Сэри сыпсалъэрэ?
Nata. Adigebsicha Wopsafla.
Пэж, уопсэу. Сарэ ди шыпхъу.
Сачанти.
Уэ дауэ ущыт?
Хъарзынэщ даущыт.
Сэри сыхъэрзынэщ. Уопсэу. Ущӏалэр сыт хуэдэ бзэкӏэ псалъэрэ?
Щӏалэр адыгэбзэкӏэ
Мапсалъэ.
мапсалъэ.
Пэж. Уэ уопсалъэрэ?
Сэ адыгэбзэкӏэ сопсалъэ.
Пэж. Сэри сыпсалъэрэ?
Уэ адыгэбзэкӏэ уопсалъэ.
Pej. Whoopso. Brandon, you have a question?
Yeah, about the spelling. So I'm looking at adigebzitcha, and I guess the way that I read the letters, I would think it's adigebzikha. Just the last three underlined ones.
Yes. So those this is cha. Cha.
So the k and the if they're together, then it goes cha.
Well, you can say this letter like Ahmed said it as ka, which is acceptable. I say it as cha. It's really, I think it's probably the only letter that has dual pronunciation in Circassian, in this dialect of Circassian. Both are fully acceptable. If you see the K by itself, it's ka. If you see the K with the number 1 after it, it's either ka or cha.
Okay. So
Tua. Reblaga. We makar sa kaskartam. Turn on you're muted.
Okay, I took it off of mute. I was having some issues with my Wi-Fi, and then I didn't find the link that you usually post 1 hour before class, so that's why I.
That's weird. A couple
Just
people said
logged
they
in
didn't get the email
every
today. I'll have to look.
Yeah, none of us got that email.
I didn't get it either, but I connected to the class by going on the previous email.
I don't know what happened. In the next semester, I've invested in a marketing automation system that'll, right now, everything's manual. So what I had to do was schedule them all out, and it's entirely possible that I goofed up. So I apologize for that. Dua, what the hell was shit?
Harsin ishwab so.
What then was shit?
Sa sish. I'm sorry. Sa se winam shash.
What? Adigabzcha? Whoops, a lefra.
Are you asking me if I speak Adiga? Inta. Sick? I'm trying to say I speak a little bit.
Tauk. Tauk.
How do you say it?
Tauk.
Duck?
Tauk. Hang on.
Duck. Okay.
Let me hang on. Tauk. Why is this doing this? Hang on. There we go. Let me make this here. Tauk. Tauk. A little. Tauk. Okay. Tauk. Tauk soap salaf. Tauk soap salaf. Sa tauk soap salaf.
You're asking me if I'm able to speak?
No, I'm just
or-
telling you how you would say I speak a little. You'd say sa,
Oh,
sa, tauk, tauk soap salaf.
sa do.
Soap salaf. Okay.
Okay. Webso.
Whoops, a wish. Whoops, a wish. So that's the review. Last class. We're going to keep going deeper. All right. We're going to keep going deeper. So if I say, speak to me, Ahmed, Siqash, my brother, speak to me. Qzabsasha, qzabsasha, right? Qza, do it in my direction. Psasha. We all know what psasha means, to speak, right? So speak to me, qzabsasha. Ahmed, qzabsasha.
جانتي تلو سكوير
زري سكويكم وزن شاغل سي اشعار يرقنوش وبصو.
خونش.
So that's how I say speak to me. If I say don't speak to me, wumapsasha. I have a 4-year-old daughter. She's very territorial. If she's speaking to me, she's fine. If she's speaking to her mom, she's fine. If my wife speaks to me, or if I speak to my wife, Baba wumapsasha, Mama wumapsasha. She wants all the attention to herself. Don't speak. Wumapsasha. Wumapsasha. So when we say, when we negate a verb in Circassian, if I'm negating it, if I'm doing it, I put the qum to the end. I put the qum to the end. But if I'm commanding you not to say it, I don't use qum, I use m. Wumapsasha. Wumapsasha. And then if I say, don't talk to me, don't speak to me, I put these two concepts together. Waqazamapsasha. Waqazamapsasha. Okay. So Ahmed, tell me to speak to you.
جانتي قزبساشا.
Sipsathlenokum. I'm not going to speak. Now tell me, don't speak to me.
وقزم بساشا.
Khunsh. Fine. Noor, tell me to speak to you.
Kuzapsasha.
Sipsathlenokum. I'm not going to talk. So say, don't talk to me.
Hunu, Wumapsasha.
Wumapsasha means don't talk. Tell me not to talk to you.
Wakazamapsasha.
Khunsh. Kuzapsathlenokum. Yinal.
Sergeanti.
Tell me to talk to you.
قز بساعة
سبسلنقم.
خنش
Tell
تاو
me.
قز بساعة
Sichapa?
خنش تاو قز بساعة
Khunsh. Sinupsatlenqum. George,
So Janti,
tell me to talk to you.
Kazabsasha Janti.
Zabsatla, khunsh. Hawa, sukhwequm. I don't want to.
Okay, well then, Wakazam Bsasha.
Khunsh. Sinupsatlenqum. Amr,
Sit.
tell Brandon to talk to you.
Brandon, قز بساعة.
وكزم بساشا.
Ooh, he just shut you down. He said, talk to me. He said, don't talk to me. All right. Now, Brandon, he's feeling a little lonely. He just got rid of his buddy Omar. So, Brandon, tell Sarah to talk to you.
Sarah, كزم بساشا.
وقزم بساتلة.
Oh, she shut you down. I have a boyfriend. Don't talk to me. All right. So, Sada, now tell Zanshawa to speak to you.
زنشاوة قز بساتلة.
I'm not sure what to reply.
So say, now tell her,
Dude,
don't talk to me. Say,
Okay. Wakazam Bsasha.
oh, he shut you down. I got all these rude students tonight. Now, Zanshawa's feeling a little lonely. So you're going to say to Dua, talk to me, which is this thing up here.
Dua, Kazab Sakla.
Now, Dua, you're going to be rude back to him.
وقزم بساخة.
All right. Good. Good job, everyone. Good job, everyone. We're going to come back to this concept. Don't worry. Okay. So Lego blocks. We're going to keep building the Lego blocks. All right. Remember, we started off. Remember? We're just building here, guys. The boy is speaking. Then we went through all the ways to say mapsasha, right? Shaler adigebzach mapsasha. Shaler adigebzach apsashafra. Is he able to speak in Circassian? Right? And now we went through this concept. Now we're saying Shaler chat adigebzach zapsasher. Shaler chat adigebzach zapsasher. Who can give me a proper English translation of this? Amr, I'm going to choose on you.
Sit.
Tell me what this means in proper English. Shaler chat adigebzach zapsasher.
Is the boy speaking to me in Circassian?
Who is the boy speaking to in Circassian? Who is the boy speaking to in Circassian?
Oh, you want me to answer that?
No, I asked you to translate the sentence. You gave me a wrong translation, so I'm giving you the right translation.
Okay.
So the sentence here, pardon me. Shaler chat adigebzach zapsasher. Zapsasher. Okay. So za means he's speaking to someone. Right.
Okay.
Remember, before a couple of slides ago, Miss. So maybe he's talking on a phone. You clearly see him talking, but you don't know who he's talking to. Right? He's just talking. He's just talking. But now he's talking to someone. Maybe you hear something on the phone. Maybe it's a speakerphone. You hear some voice coming back. So now he's talking in two directions. These two people are talking to each other. One of them is the boy, and the other one is someone. We don't know who. So who is chet? Okay. Concept is clear?
Yes.
Okay. How would I say the boy is speaking to me in Circassian?
Are you still asking me?
I'm asking you.
Speaking to me.
Yeah.
Shaler zesa. So mopsacha. So I want to say,
I would just replace this one word.
okay. So shaler sa adigabzacha
Qzabsathar.
qazabsacha.
Remember?
Yeah.
Qzabsathar. Qzabsathar. He's speaking to me. He's speaking to me. Shaler sa adigabzacha qzabsathar.
So that's if you say like, you know, if someone asks you like, who's the boy speaking? If you want to say just me, can you say like
Sarash. You can say
Sarash.
Sarash.
Okay.
Sarash. It is me. Sarash. You can just say it's me. Sa means me. Sarash. It is me. It is me. Who knows how to say it was me? Noor. Come on.
Sarash.
Sarash.
Sarash. Sarat. It was me.
That's what he's saying in the song, Mi Sarash.
Sarat. Okay. So we're going to go down this rabbit hole. Let's see how we feel about this. All right. If this is too much, let me know. We'll move on to the next verb. All right. So over here, we went through to whom is the boy speaking in the Circassian language? Okay. And to answer this, there's different ways to answer this depending on what the answer is. So the formula or the fill in the blank is the person, and then a pronoun, a prefix that goes with the verb. All right. So here we're talking about the shaler. We're talking about the boy, right? So remember our little verb tables. It's not me. It's not you. It's him, her, it, right? He, she, it speaks. Ar mapsasha, right? So now we're just talking about who. This is just for him. This is just for him. Ar or shala, because he means ar or he, she, it. Shala is shaler is the boy. So these are interchangeable, pronoun versus noun. Okay. Shaler qzopsasha. Qzopsasha. The boy is talking to me. Shaler qzopsasha. Ar qzopsasha. He's speaking to you. Shaler ar qopsasha. 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 He's talking to you. The boy is speaking to him, her, it, a third person. Shaler ab yopsasha. Ab means him. So shaler, the boy, or ar, he. Ab, him, her, or it, yopsasha. Okay, and then to ask the question, ar qzapsashara. Is he speaking to me? Ar qopsashara. Is he speaking to you? Ar ab yepsashara. Okay. Is this too much? Is this different than what we did last time or same level of complexity?
Same
I think it's fine.
Same level? Okay. Okay. So let's play with this verb a little bit. Let's play with this verb a little bit. Noor.
Sit, Janti.
Nus'aler qzapsashara.
Mish ar kopsasha.
Qopsasha. Pej. Ar qopsasha. Ar qopsasha. Yinal.
Sit.
Nus'aler khat zapsashar.
Shal. Qopsasha.
Sa sarash. S'aler qopsasha. He's talking to you. Ahmed.
Sujati.
Qzapsasha.
Hit qopsasha.
Khat qop. Nus'aler qzopsasha. Nus'aler qzopsasha. Nus'aler qopsashara.
Inta ar qzopsasha.
Khat qopsashara.
Ash'alar.
شعالم يتسرست.
شعالم يتر نارش.
نارت ترك.
حوا نارت الدقاش.
وهو أديجا.
انت ساريس الدقاش.
وأديجا بزتشو بسلفرة.
ساس زغاشرة.
وبوغاشة. بج. سارة.
ست جانتي.
مش عالم يتسرست.
شعالر يتسأر نارج.
عالم يتسر نارت أديجا بزتشو بسلفرة.
انت نارت أدي قبزة مبساتلة.
ما بسالة. نارت قزب سالرة.
قزب ساتلة.
نارت قزب سالرة.
أو حوا نارت أرقب ساتلة.
قم.
قم.
أرقب سالقم. هج أرقب سالقم. وتركب زتشا حمراء أدي قبزتشا وبسلفرة.
سا أدي قبزة سبساتلة.
سوبسلف.
سبساتلة.
سوبسالة I speak. سوبسلف I'm able to speak.
Able to speak. Okay.
Able to speak. جورج.
جانتي.
قزب سالة.
He doesn't speak to me. Oh no, sorry. Oh, okay. Okay. What? What تركب زتشة? Is that the word? Okay. وتركب زتشة وبساشرة.
بج. مش عالر ست كده بزتش بساشرة.
مش عالر أدغب زتشة
ما بسخف.
مبسخف.
مش عالر قو بساشرة.
حوا مش عالر قبساشر قم.
قزب ساشر قم.
قزب ساشر قم.
قزب ساشر قم. بج. عمر. خد قو بساشرة.
شعال سا أرقب ساخة.
حوا. سراش.
سراش.
خد قو بساشرة. سراش. جانتي قو بساشرة.
So you're saying
I'm the
who am
one
I talking to? Okay.
I asked you who's talking to you.
Yeah.
خد قو بساشرة.
Okay.
خد قو بساشرة. Sorry. خد قو بساشرة. يجبستو وقزب ساشرة.
وقزب ساخة.
وقزب ساشرة.
Who are you talking to?
What did I ask you?
Who are you talking to?
وقزب ساشرة.
Who am I talking to?
Yes. Who are you talking to? Same answer as before.
Well, it wouldn't be Sarash.
Warash.
Sarash. Okay. Okay. Warash.
Warash قزب ساشرة. Warash قزب ساشرة. You're the one talking to me. Okay. مش عالر قو بساشرة.
Is the boy speaking or
To
talking to you? Hawa.
قزب ساشرة.
قزب ساخكم. Okay, not talk. قزب ساخكم.
Okay, قزب ساشرة. Okay. Brandon.
That's it.
ووب ساشرة.
Oh wait.
You're correct.
سبساخلة.
وبسالة و أديجابزتش وبسلفرة.
انت سا اديجابزت oh what's that
وبسلف.
وبسلف
و أديجابزتش وبسلف.
سا اديجابزت سوب سالفة
وبسلف. Sobsellaf means I can do it. Wopsellaf, you can do it. مش قالر نارت أديجابزتش أبسلفرة.
You're asking if Nart is speaking اديجابزت انت Nart اديجابزت
مبسلف.
مبسلف
نارت يجبستو قبسالرة.
هوا Nart اديجابزت
قزبسالركم.
صح يا كيزو بصاف لكم
خد قبسالرة يجبستو.
دي ورس
Sarash, Pej, Warash, you are. Sarash, I am. Bravo. Dagwa did this, Brandon. Dagwa did this. Upso. Upso. Zanshawa.
Sit.
Khat psalera yijibsto.
Can you say that again?
Khat yijibsto psalera.
Who are you speaking to right now?
Who's speaking right now?
Okay, who's speaking right now? Egypt's to Wawop Sakla.
Pej. Yijibsto sa sop psalera. Pej. Pej. Sa adigabzacha sipsalafra.
Can you say that one more time?
Sa adigabzacha sipsalafra.
The last word I'm not understanding, or sounded different, or maybe I just heard it wrong.
Sa
Did you say Sopla?
sipsalafra. Adigabzacha sipsalafra.
Nata wa adigabzicha wa psalaf.
Sopsalaf. Pej. Sopsalaf. Pej. Egyptsto مش قالر قب سالرة. مش قالر قب سالرة.
Okay, so Hawa Shalar. Okay. So Shalar. Would I just say Shala or Shalar?
قالر.
Shalar. Kuzop Satlakam.
Aha, قزور بسالر قم. Pej. Pej. سارة.
سجراتي
مش عالم يتصر ست.
إيش عالم يتسأر نارتش.
نارتش. نارت أمريكان.
حوا نارت أديجا.
نارت أديغاش. وهو أديغا.
نتا ساسة أديجاش.
وهو أديغاش. وأديغا بزتشو بسلفرة.
نتا سا أديجا بزتشا سبساتلاف.
ويجبستو زغورقو بسالة. Is someone speaking to you right now?
نتا يجبستو. So if I want to say you're speaking, so
وقزو بسالة.
وقزب ساتلا.
وقزو بسالة. Pez. وقزبسالرة. وقزبسالرة.
Is that are you speaking?
Are you speaking to me?
أنت سا
Sopsasha.
سوبساتلا.
Once. Whoopso. Whoopso.
أو
Dua.
Sì, gente.
وأديجابزتشا وبسلفرة.
You're saying I understood a digga and you're trying to ask me what I'm speaking. I'm kind of
وأديجابزتشا وبسلفرة.
do I speak a digga or am I speaking a digga?
Are you able
Okay.
to speak Adigabza?
Inta sa words are so small here. Okay. Inta sa sopsacha.
Sa sopsalaf.
Sa sopsacha.
Sopsalaf. مشعالر نارت مشعالر قبسالة مشعالر قبسالة. I'm sorry.
Nart is
قبسالة.
speaking.
Is he speaking to you?
Hawa. Nart.
قزبسالرقم.
Ar khazibsa
لرقم.
qim.
Right? Because we add the qim to make it negative. Okay. I think we're
Okay.
having some challenges here. I feel like the last class we got the concept. So are we going too deep into the verb, or what are people's feelings right now?
I just think if
I think.
Go
Oh,
ahead.
sorry. Was someone saying something?
you can go. Go ahead. I'll go after you.
Thank you. Yeah. So no, I think it's for me at least. I think it's good. I think it's a good level. It's just that right now I'm a little bit tired because I just came back from class and public transport was a bit slower than usual. So I was a bit tired at the beginning. But as for the level itself, I think it's good. It was probably just me, I think.
How about other people?
I like
For
it.
me, Janti, I'm still doubtful of myself when I'm trying to conjugate the root sa.
Okay.
I think if we can I think like where the confusion started was when we threw in the q, like qazabsaha, qazumza. I think just breaking that part down maybe a little more.
Okay. Okay. So I want to stay on this verb because what I'm trying to do, again, I know many of you are going to go and you're going to talk to a mother, a father, an uncle, an aunt, a grandparent, and they're going to say to you, what the next verb we're going to learn is or ja'an, to say, because you can talk, but you may not be saying anything, right? Just like in English, there's talk and there's say, right? So that's why I'm going so deep into this. And this is just the way Circassian verbs are structured. So let's build confidence. Let's not go any more deeply on this. Let's just play with this a little bit. I'm going to send you guys into the breakout rooms. I want you guys to just spend 5 minutes talking to each other. Let me stop the share. Believe me, Circassian verbs follow just a handful of patterns. Once we get the patterns down, it's going to be really easy. It's going to be really easy. You guys, who remembers the verb that means to fly?
Mashat.
Well,
Mashata.
mashata is he or she flies, but
Yeah, shatan. Okay. So, sasopsata, I speak. Sasoshata, I fly. Armapsata, he speaks. Armashata, he flies. Sasopsataf, sasoshataf. It's the same exact, that verb follows the same exact pattern, right? So once we get a few of these verbs under our belts, we're going to fly through the not that we're trying to go fast. We're trying to build solid foundational knowledge. But the epiphany that I've had in speaking with many of you and in the Saturday class, a lot of you know a lot more Circassian than you think. All of you know a lot more Circassian than you think. Those of you who are raised in Circassian families, you have some sort of fear or phobia about saying the wrong thing the wrong way, because at some point somebody probably laughed at you or made fun of you. Happened to me too. This is just something Circassian people do. I have no idea why. It's a cultural thing. It exists everywhere where we exist. And the reason that it's so easy to make mistakes is because of all these patterns. Okay. Who knows how to say, I'm saying something? Does anybody know how to say it? I'm talking something is what you said. Good try. Good try. But there's another verb.
Says Guarzoa.
Says the Guarzoa. Says the Guarzoa, right? Ja'an, Jazoa. This is a different verb pattern. Just bear with me. Now, how would I say, how do I say this? Mirdawa zarjis anur. Zar. We're way off TPRS right now. This is really just for the people. 80-90% of you guys have some Circassian in your brains. Okay. This is another pattern that we'll learn. Anytime you say how, you have to put zar in front of the verb. But once you learn that rule, how do I write this? Mirdawa zar tkifinur. How do I write this? How do I do this? Mirdawa zar sunur. How do I do this? How do I go there? Ardawa zar zakwanur. Right? So once we learn, it's only about a half a dozen, I promise. It's about a half a dozen patterns. Once we learn these half a dozen patterns, everything's going to drop into place. This is the big bet I'm making on the structure of next semester's class, where we're going to go deep into all these verb structures. But once we do 2, 3, 4 verbs, the next 2, 3, 4 verbs are going to come like this. Okay. So let me, I'm off share. Let me pause the video. I'm muted. I'm unmuted.
So
George, you have a question?
Yes, Terminator has a question.
Terminator.
Okay, so in the breakout room, we were wondering, when we say I can't speak, like where does stress go on I can't speak? Like is it subsashafqam, like subsashaf? Is it the same thing, or is it like subsashafqam, like subsashafqam? Like where does it go?
Last syllable.
Oh, with okay. Say it again. Say it again.
It's on slide 11.
No, I'm asking about stress.
Yeah.
About the stress syllable, like
last syllable.
Okay. Okay.
And like I said, native speaker, many, maybe even the majority of native speakers would also say subsatham. That's also
is that a quicker way when people are speaking fast, like and some words are reduced, like in all languages, like
yeah.
Okay. And that means I can't speak.
No, it's instead of saying I can't, I'm not able to speak. Is the very enunciated proper way to say it. Some people would say and
that's the same thing as but just shorter, like shortened.
In negating the verbs, right? What you're supposed to do is add and qum. Right?
Okay.
Just using the base form. Many native speakers will just say
Okay. Okay.
Sopsasha.
Okay, so that's like the informal way, I guess, like in quick speech. Okay.
Quick speech. Yeah.
Mhm.
It's like saying, do you know? Do you know?
Yeah.
know?
Or Juana, like
Do you wanna?
do you
Yeah.
want to Juana? Yeah, exactly.
Juana. Yeah.
Yeah.
Juana.
Yeah.
There were a couple of questions that came out in the breakout rooms when I jumped around. So let's just make sure we feel good about the basic concepts here. Okay, so I'm going to go back through. Okay, so Shaler mapsasha. Okay, Shaler psasha. Is he speaking? Ar mapsasha. He is speaking. Ar psasharqam. He's not speaking. Okay.
You're not
We
sharing
got
the
that.
screen.
Shaler adigabzatsa mapsasha.
Oh,
the only-
Jonty, you're not sharing your screen, by the way.
Oh, well, that would be helpful, wouldn't it? Share. Okay. Right. There's no new information here other than we're talking about what language, in what language this boy is speaking. Right. I think where it got a little hairy for some people is here. Is he able to speak? Now, again, these are patterns. Psashara, able to. Psashrqam, not doing it. Psashafra, able to. Psashafrqam, not able to. Right? Because I can say, sopsasha, I speak. Right? I speak. If somebody says to me, wa turkibzatsa wupsashara, wupsashafra, are you able to speak in the Turkish language? Hawa. I'm not able to speak in the Turkish language. I'm able to speak, but I'm not able to speak in the Turkish language. Right? So that's the only thing new here. And then these are common. Maybe this is where people got mixed up because I just gave you a preview, but we didn't go deep into it. Maybe this was kind of in your head a little bit. And I'm not sure. I think maybe this is probably where we went a little bit too deep. We started going a little bit too deep down the rabbit's hole. So let me try something. Let me come back up. And we have 20 minutes left. These are experimental classes. We went really deep into a verb. Let's go into a different verb. All right. So, and what I'm trying to see is, do we go really deep into one verb, or do we go moderately deep into 3 or 4 verbs and then go deeper again and deeper again? Right. That's the kind of experiment that I'm doing here. So before we start, I actually want everyone open up your microphone. Tell me something about what we know in the story so far. Tell me who you are. Tell me the other character that's in the story. Tell me what language you're speaking and what language he's speaking, or what language you're able to speak, whatever you feel comfortable with. In your own words, 20 seconds apiece, 30 seconds apiece. Let's start with Nur.
Okay, si tsar Nur, sa aslanch, shaler adigabcha, mapsasha, sari adigabcha, Egyptstu sa adigabcha sopsashara, sopsasha, shaler yitzar narch,
Shalem.
shalem yitzar narch, and that's it, I think, so far.
Okay, that's perfect. Hinal.
Ситсернал с урысыбзачара адыгабзача току адыгабзача сыпсалла. Абы шале шалем йцер нарч нарч адыгабзача мапсаллифра мапсаллифра. No, mapsallifra. Mapsallaf. That's the one.
Mapsallaf. Machabaram wakhat. Who are you in the story?
Raketas.
Oh, raketas. Tamam. Amr.
Said, All right. Sasitzer Omar. Sasish Anagsh.
Shanagats.
Anagsh. Ar or Shalar Yitzer Narch.
Shalem.
Shalem.
Shalem. Yitzer narch.
What do I know?
Sitquad bzatchan psalter nart.
Can you say that again?
Sitquad bzamcha psalter nart. Turk bzatcha psalter.
Adirabsacha Psakharam.
Mabsatha.
Mabsacha.
Mabsathaf. He's able to. Mabsatha. Okay. Hunch. Zanshawa.
Sitzer Zanshawish, Sesi Shomish Qualanch, Shalom Yitzer Narch, Nart, Adigebzicha Mopsachla, Sa Adigebzicha Tauk, Sopsachla.
Tamam. Tamam. Ahmed.
Sitzer Ahmed, Sas Yinish, Shalam Yitzer Narch, Shalar Adijabzika Mapsathlaf, Sa Wursibzika Subsathlafirkum.
Tamam. Tamam. George.
Terminator. مشعلر مشعلر يتر نارش ار ادو غبزچا قزوب ساشا our sir tak ادو غبزچا Sopla.
Hunch. Brandon.
Sitzer Brandon. Adigebzet Subsale. It's Alice, Alan Cernat. Sri Adigebzet Safla.
Tamam. Tamam. Dua.
Sa Sitzer Dua, Shaler Yitzar Narch, Shaler Adigabzicha Mupsachaf, Shaler Adig
Shaler Adigabzich Psalter.
Ajik. Okay. Yeah, you said it.
Okay. Good. Sarah.
Sa Sitzer Sarash, Sas Mغwash, Shalem Yitzer Narch, Shalem Adigabzich Sopsatlaf, Sa Harabibza Sopsatla.
Hunch. Hola. Okay, all was not available. So you guys did very well. Two things that I picked up that I want you guys to work on. When you say your name, Sitzer Jantish, Sitzer Duash, Sitzer Brandensh, Sitzer Inalsh, right? So we always add the ush to the end. The other thing, we need to be this is a very, very easy thing to get wrong in the beginning, and it'll haunt you. It haunts me to this day. It'll haunt you as well, okay? Shalem Yitzar Narch. Shalem Yitzar Narch. Shaler Adigabzicha Mapsacha. Shaler أديجبزة مبساطة. Okay. The short answer for this, why is it sometimes why is it sometimes if the verb that the person's doing is a transitive verb, it ends in If the verb is intransitive, it ends in So the reason I'm pointing this out, we just went through mapsasha, shalir mapsasha, ar mapsasha, ar. Now we're going to move on to a new verb, j'an. What's he saying? So, shalir mapsasha, he's talking. Okay, he's talking in Circassian. He's able to talk in Circassian. We know that. What's he saying? Sit abji'ar. We don't say sit ar ji'ar. We would never say that. Sit abji'ar. And now when we go through this, we're going to say shalir zgur ji'a. The boy is saying something. So you don't have to worry about the rule. I'm just telling you why, right? The rules are meant to explain why. They're not meant to be memorized. But I'm explaining the rule to you so that you can build that natural speech pattern. Shalim yitzar. Shalir mapsasha. Shalim zgur ji'a. He's saying something. George, you have a question?
Yes. So if I want to say this boy's name is, do we say Mish'alim Yitz'ar? Okay, because I think I got it wrong when I said it. Okay, so I will say it again. Mish'alim Yitz'ar Narch. Yeah, because I said it with R the first time.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. So class.
Sit.
Sit, Janti. Yeah, Khazova, beat us up. Class. Shalam Yitz'ar Narch. Ar adigabzach amapsasha.
No way.
Sit abji'ar. What's he saying? Sit abji'ar. Right? Sit abji'ar. Ji'ar, j'an can be to tell or to say. It has both. You can use it interchangeably. Okay. So, sit abji'ar. Shalam zugur ji'a.
Wow.
Shalam zugur ji'a. The boy is saying something. The boy is saying something. The boy is saying something. Okay. So, sajisara. Sit sajisara. What am I saying? What am I saying to you? Sit sajisara. What am I saying to you? Sit what? I'm using the word what here, right? But sit sajisara. What am I saying to you? Was sit jipra? What are you saying? Was sit jipra? Ab sit abji'ara. What is he saying? Ab, not ar, ab. Okay. Sajisarqam. I'm not saying. Wajipurqam. You're not saying. Abji'arqam. He's not saying. She's not saying. Sajzo'a. I say. Wajbo'a. You say. Abji'a. He, she, it says. Okay. Nur.
Sit Janti.
Witzar qja'a.
Sitzar Nursh.
Sit jipara.
Sitzar.
Witzar jipash. Ask me to tell you my name. Witzar qja'a.
Witzar Qja'a.
Jisarqam.
Sit Hacha.
Squeaqam.
Hunush.
Inal.
Janti.
Shalam sit ja'a.
Zagur shalam zagur jea.
Zagur ja'a. Nta. Wo witzar qja'a.
Sa sit serenalsh.
قزوبش سيتسر. Ask me my name.
Oh, ask you the name. Sit. No, sit ويتسر.
Ask me to tell you my name.
Yeah. و hold on.
Let me, you know what? Let me put it
Yeah.
here for you guys.
Let me try and remember it.
Why is this not working? You know what?
ويتسر
قجاء.
قجاء. That was close.
You know what? I have it. Hang on. قجاء. Here we go. Let me put this here. There we go. Okay.
ويتسر قجاء.
Just أنقم. Just أرقم. I'm not saying. Just أرقم.
That's rude.
خنش. خنش. سجزوء سيتسر جانتيش.
خلمت تخو.
Ahmed,
Sajati.
tell me to tell you my name.
وويتسر قجاء.
سجس أرقم. وويتسر قجاء.
ساسيتر أحمد.
ست جبرة. ست جبرة.
ساسيتر ساسيتر قزوب.
You can say Sasitar Ahmed. You can just repeat yourself.
Yeah, Sasitar Ahmad.
Mm.
How would I say that? I'm saying Sasitar Qazub. I'm telling you my name.
Sajzoa.
Oh, that's it. Okay.
Sajzoa.
Sasitar Sajoa.
I'm saying my name. Sasitar Jazoa.
Okay.
Sasitar Jazoa. I'm saying my name. Okay. George.
Sit.
ويتسر قجاء.
سيتسر سيتسر جورج.
Now ask me to tell you my name.
جانتي ويتسر قجاء.
سجس أرقم. سجس أرقم.
Oh, how
سخويقم. I don't want to. سخويقم.
Oh.
خونش خونش جزوء جزوء جزوء. سيتسر جانتيش. سيتسر جانتيش. سيتسر جانتيش. جورج. what's the جبرة?
سجس أرقام. سجس أرقام.
وزري جبرقم. وزري جبرقم. خونشتا.
وجب أرقام. No, oh my god. سجس أرقام. ترميناترش.
خونش.
ترميناترش. جي أرقام.
جي أرقام زري. خونش. Ziri means nothing. Ziri means nothing.
Terminator just is.
Yeah.
Terminator is.
Is. If you want to say, I'll be back, you would say, Sa gazgazjnush.
You'll write it for me later. I can try like saying with an Austrian accent. Oh my god. Okay, that's crazy. Just outcome.
Punch. Brandon. ويتسر قجاء.
I'll say سجزرقم.
وجبرقم. وجبرقم سج حتى. Why? سج حتى. وشأش. You're cold. خونش. خونش. سيتسر جزوء جانتيش. سجزوء. 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 What's the جبرة? What's the جبرة?
I guess the
What was sha'a?
So California success.
What California was sha'a? Ras zipper. Ras zipper. Khunch. Du'a.
Sit.
Wits arqaja'a.
Sasit ser duash.
Wits arjo. Ask me to tell you my name.
Okay. Situitser.
No, that's asking me my name. Ask me to tell you my name.
Okay. Quizit. Quizja.
Qaja'a.
Qijaa.
Sa jis arqam. Sits ar jis arqam. I'm not saying my name.
Okay.
Khunch jazo'a. Jazo'a.
Wunsch. Jazoa.
Sits arjantish.
Sitsa. Okay.
Sits arjantish.
Sajaa. Sajaa. Jantish.
Sarah.
Janti.
Wits arqja'a.
Sits sarash.
Ask me. Tell me to tell you my name.
Sits Qazaa.
Hawa. Sa jis arqam. Sits ar jis arqam.
What was the word for why?
Sich hacha.
Sachhacha.
Sukuyaqam. I don't want to. Khunch jazo'a. Sa jazo'a. Sits arjantish.
Khunch.
So we're going to go through a similar set of slides here. Okay. Sit abji'ar. What is he saying? Sit abji'ar. What's he saying to you? What's he saying to you? And again, I'm just thinking, like, I know when I was taking Circassian classes, my parents were like, "What's a thafra? Zugwar qajaa. Sit qabji'ar. What did your teacher tell you?" So this is the basic sopsatha, sopsathaf, sitjipra, sitqabji'ar. What did he tell you? Okay. Formal class is over. Anybody needs to go, you can go. But I do want to solicit feedback. I don't know. I feel like the last class we did pretty well with psathen. And I feel like this class we're feeling not so confident. I also feel like I'm missing some of the story elements and some of the back and forth questions because I'm focusing too much on the verbs. But what are you guys feeling so far? How are you guys liking this approach versus what we did in the very beginning stages of this course?
Best example because I've been absent for the past 5 classes, but I'm okay. I like it.
Yeah,
Brandon,
I think this.
what's that?
Sorry, I was just gonna say you're introducing a few new words in this class. I think that's why I think like the next class, if we use the same words again, it'd be a lot easier. I think the deep dive. I feel like it's going good. Like I think it'll be internalized, but I think it's gonna take a few more sessions.
Sure.
So this is like the first set of new words, I think, you know, especially with I think that's I think it'll get easier. I think when you're introducing this set of new words at the beginning, it's gonna be a little bit tough. I think the other words that we've had up to this point there's been a lot of repetition.
Got it.
That's just my 2 cents.
Okay. Brandon, I'm curious on your take because what I'm struggling with here is because Circassian's polysynthetic, I can't say like English, tell me, tell him. It's 3 words, 3 to 5 words over and over. We have to use these prefixes for the verbs to make sense. And that opens a door to this like, I can't get into you say, he says, she says, especially with transitive verbs. She says a word, she says a story. But you're very skilled in TPRS. I'm just kind of curious what your observations or feedback would be.
I think during that class, 2 classes ago, 2 weeks ago, yeah, I would say even with just the base with Sopla, when we were learning that, after that class, I don't think we were ready to move on from that if you wanted to build up to what you showed us today. So even for the I am able to speak, I don't think we were ready for that either. In terms of, at least for the how would you say, like the newest learners, including me.
Yeah. So I think what I need to do is merge elements of the classic TPRS with this Circassian TPRS. I think what I need to do is go through that little exercise of building up the verb. And then once we're at that, so we'll go back to psachen, but then we'll come up with more, we'll build this. I guess what I'm saying is we'll build the story. Right? We'll build the story. Then once we feel comfortable with the story, we'll play around with some of the elements of the verb. And then once we get all the elements of the verb, we'll come back into the story and we'll use all those different verb elements using different nouns and vocabulary and adjectives within that story. So we can still expand some of the basic vocabulary, but get really, really comfortable with the verb.
To simplify it, Janti, if you want to build it up to what you were trying to get us to do today, work on that first class that we had with Sopla and slow down a lot. The biggest with me, when George and I think Ola was also in our breakout room. Ola, yeah. Well, either way, we were tripping up on pronunciation, and we were still trying to figure out that sh sound.
Right.
And that's so even with just saying the words, you know, we wanted to really be able to feel it, to be able to repeat it and hear it from you many more times slower.
Okay. That's useful. Thank you. Anybody else? Feedback, questions, comments? Yes, Zenshawa.
It makes me think about that metaphor about being introduced to like all the people in the room. Like I feel like I got introduced to too many at once, and so I just need to familiarize with myself with them more until I get to know them with the connectors, like at the end.
Okay. Inal.
Just had a bit of feedback on the slides. At the end there, I noticed that with myself and I think with Ahmad as well, on the left side you have the story, and then on the right side you have the forms of the verbs, but then at the top you put the passive form at the bottom, which is the one that most of the time that people are looking for, and I instinctively look to the top, which is wrong. So I think it would be helpful if you put the most passive form at the top and then you build more complex going to the bottom.
Okay.
But I also wanted to mention, because I said the same thing to Zenshawa and it seemed to help him, for the L with the, well, actually I don't know how to say it in English, but the ch sound. It's the same thing as saying the letter L, but you just have to move your tongue to one or the other side of your mouth and just force air out through your teeth, and that should help it. You have to say it through one of the sides. You can't just, you can't just do it through the middle.
So is that true, Jonty? It's really more so like to the side, like the tongue?
So this is L. This is L. It could be L or L, right? This is th. But what I'm doing with th is I'm forcing air across the top of my tongue and between my teeth. To make the sound th, I put my tongue against the back of my teeth, and then I'm forcing air. Native speakers will force air over both sides. I'm not a native speaker. I force air over one side. You won't hear a difference. I don't think you hear a difference, but that's how you make the sh sound. Other people, questions? So we're past feedback, questions, comments, grammar, vocabulary, anything like that?
I got one more thing for you too, Janti. I guess for me, I also wouldn't include how to say the questions on there.
You would or would not?
Yes, I wouldn't.
See, I struggle with that because the question form of the verb is very different. It's very different. Sopla, sipsatra. It's very different. And in other classes where I didn't have the question form of the verb, people asked me, they were using the question form as the statement form. But
that's another thing that we had to learn. And so I think that also made things more complicated.
Okay. That's good feedback. I think what I'm hearing is, so we're right now I have like maybe 3 tables on the page. I have 1 sentence, but I have like 3 tables. What I should do is have like 1 sentence, 1 table, really get everybody super comfortable with that specific form, and then move on and move on and move on.
That's the TPRS way. Yes, sounds like it.
Okay. All right. Anyone else? Questions about what we covered in class? Other questions? Anything?
I have a random question.
Sure.
With the word guasha, like I know that means like, like lady or like doll or something.
Guasha.
Guasha. And then, so my question is like with like figures from like the Nart sagas, like I've heard it said before, like Hansa Guashe or like Kada Guashe. Is that?
Guasha. So Hansa Guasha.
Should it be the or the a at the end? Like, what is that, or is that just a dialectical thing?
So Hansa Guasha is doll. It also means mother-in-law, and it also means princess. Sorry, guys. It also means princess. Hansa Guasha is a pagan doll made out of a shovel. That's what Hansa means. And Hansa Guasha is a pagan doll made out of a shovel, adorned with walnuts that are semi-ripe, so that when you shake it, it shakes like a rattle. And there's a rain dance that Circassian pagans would do to pray for rain. And that's what Hansa Guasha is. And then there also, I think there might be somewhere a village called Guashane. And then in songs, just to make words rhyme, sometimes you might call a girl Guashane.
My question though is it the correct way to say it is with the not the a at the end?
Guasha.
That's where I was hearing differences and it being said.
How else have you heard it?
Like Hansa Guashe or like Kada Guashe or Mez Guashe.
I'm sure in literature, I've heard I've read Guashe, Guashane, I've seen also. I'm sure they're both correct. There's probably just some literary or poetic reason why one is used versus the other. It's beyond me though.
Okay. Oops.
Do you have a question?
Yeah, so we learned J today, which is to say.
Jian.
Jian. But there's also J, which is to sleep. What's the spelling difference between them?
Jian has the in it. Jian. J or Jayin. So infinitive form. Jian has the Jian has the palochka, по-русски palochka. And to sleep is Jayin.
Jayin. Okay, just straight. Okay.
Okay. All right. If there's nothing else, we'll leave it there. Thank you guys for the continued feedback. It helps me make the classes better, so I really do appreciate it. I'll see you guys all next week.
Thank you.
So, Janti.
So was